In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to interview as an introvert. I'm going to give you 8 tips that is going to make an already stressful process a lot easier and help you succeed. Let's go. Hi everybody, my name is Ben White with Ben Talks Talent. I've got 12 years experience in interviewing, hiring, and recruiting, and I'm still doing it, and I'm passionate about using my experience to help you become the best candidate possible and land your next job. In today's video, I am going to teach you all the things you need to do as an introvert to make the process easier for you and to succeed more frequently. But before we get into the main topic of the video, do me a favor, if you were new here, take 3 seconds, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. That way you never miss one of my 3 weekly videos that are designed to help you become a better interviewer. And if you were not new, hey, well, welcome back. You look great. Is that a new shirt? You look awesome. All right, let's get into the video. Now, the first thing I want you to do as an introvert is realize your strengths. Oftentimes, when people think about introverts, what do they say? They say, well, this person is shy, they're awkward, they're antisocial. Not only is that like incredibly presumptive and frequently wrong, but how weird to just cast those negative attributes on somebody just because they have a slightly different personality than you. The reality is, an introvert, you are probably very smart, insightful, thoughtful, analytical, introspective. There are a lot of things that make you qualified for whatever role you are interviewing as an introvert. So I want you to reframe the way you view it. Don't view you being an introvert as a weakness. View it as a strength. You're not going to be going after these roles that require you necessarily to be an extrovert. You're going to be going after roles that you are well aligned for. And I just think it makes sense to first and foremost realize that and use it to your advantage. Now, the second thing I want you to do as an introvert to make the whole process easier for you is you need to have a great resume, cover letter, when applicable, which is very rarely, and LinkedIn profile. So you might not feel as comfortable in the in-person talking, interviewing, being asked questions portion of getting a new job. But where you can absolutely excel is leveraging your attention to detail, your introspection, your ability to be analytical, and crafting an amazing resume. So do the stuff that for you feels low pressure, and that's taking the time to make yourself stand out in a very positive way, in a significant way, by having an amazing LinkedIn so that people come to you. People can find you when they realize that you've made a significant impact in previous and current roles. Have an amazing resume. Do the things that are virtual, that give you a massive advantage, and make sure you put the necessary time into that to make sure you already have a little bit of an advantage. You're already standing out. You might be going head to head with an extrovert. You need to start with a little bit of a head start. And you can absolutely do that by making your resume and your LinkedIn profile amazing. Also, cover letter when necessary, which again is not very necessary most of the time. Number 3 is network online. Interviewing is very stressful, right? You're going in, all these people don't know you, so they need to learn about you. They're gonna fire questions at you. That is gonna be intimidating. So what can you do to shift the balance in your favor? Well, you can network online. LinkedIn should be your best friend. Make connections on people, comment on people's posts, send them connection requests, network with them. Find a way to connect with people virtually. That way, when there are opportunities, you can reach out to someone and say, hey, I noticed there's an opportunity at your organization that aligns really well with my background. I'd be interested in learning more about it. Maybe you can connect with them, talk with them, and get them to refer you into an opportunity. And at that point, you've given yourself a second head start. Amazing LinkedIn, amazing resume, and then you're referred in. Being referred into an opportunity is the second least path of resistance into getting a job. The first least is actually already working for the company. But the second easiest way to get a job is to have somebody who is a known commodity at the organization say, you should talk to Ben. Ben seems great. That way you get put in front of that person, you already have a head start, they know something about you because you've already been recommended, you're taking away some of the unease and replacing it with familiarity, which should be to your advantage. So network online. Now this should be obvious, but I wanna say it anyway. You should avoid roles that don't excite you. If you are reading a job description and in that job description, it says networking, collaboration, presentation, and you read that and you're like, well, you should avoid that role, right? You don't wanna do that job. And if you don't want to do that job, then you probably don't want to take that interview because they're going to ask you questions about the things you don't want to do in that job. So what I want you to do is be selective. Look at the different job descriptions. Look at the posting. Read through them. And if any part of that company's culture, maybe collaboration is one of their cultural values, or any part of that job description goes to you, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Don't apply to the job, because you're not going to want to do those tasks. And when you're interviewing for it, they might ask you questions about that task that are immediately going to put you into a state of unease, right? Because they're asking you questions. Can you tell me about a time where you had to give a presentation and you really went above and beyond? And you might be like, well, never, because I hate that. Well, if that's the case, you don't want that job. The next thing I want you to do is be incredibly well researched, right? One of the things that makes interviewing nerve-wracking to begin with is not being prepared. Anybody who has ever gone to school, which is most people, knows what it feels like when you go into a test and you are ready. You studied, you were prepared, you were going to do well, and you're gonna crush it. You're like, well, I can't wait to see the first question because I know I'm gonna know the answer and I'm gonna murder this test. Compared to you didn't study, maybe you were playing Mario Kart until 4 a.m. in the morning, whatever, and then you take it, you look at the test, and you're like, I literally don't know any of this stuff. I'm going to be guessing. What kind of pattern should I create on my Scantron? Those are two very different feelings, and with interviewing, it is the same way. When you are well researched, you know about the company, you know about the company values, you know about their products or services, you know about recent news events, you know about the people you're interviewing with, you research them, you already discovered commonalities you have between them. That is a whole different feeling than winging it. As an introvert, one of the biggest things you can do is prepare, be well researched, and go in there with more confidence because you know the answers to the test. Speaking of knowing the answers to the test, the next thing I want you to do is to practice. Practice interview questions. Practice talking about yourself. The reality is, there are questions that are gonna be asked in just about every interview, right? What's your greatest strength? What's your greatest weakness? Why are you looking? Why do you wanna leave your current employer? What are you looking for compensation-wise? There's a litany of them. Tell me about a time that you had to deal with competing deadlines. All these questions are questions that you know are coming. And if you know they are coming, then you can be prepared. If you haven't done it already, if this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, first things first, please subscribe, please like, join the family, but also go watch my playlist. I have a playlist on the most common asked questions for an interview. It is literally 27 videos long. Go there, research, be prepared. It is one of the best things you can do. Now, the next thing I want you to do is recharge. If you need to recharge, right? Social situations in which you're doing things that maybe you don't want to do are draining for you. So maybe before you go into an interview, set the time where you've got 15 minutes to decompress, center yourself, breathe, listen to Enya, whatever you need to do to just be calm. In addition to that, what I want you to do is after the interview, if you need a few minutes to sit down, decompress, give yourself that freedom and flexibility to do that. That is okay. Schedule it in and make sure you have the time. The last thing that I want you to do when you are interviewing as an introvert is I want you to make sure that the things align for you, the things that matter, right? So what are the things that matter to you? We've already talked about the job. You got to make sure the job is something that you want to do. It's not going to put you into situations where you're uneasy. But in addition to that, make sure the company culture aligns with you, right? If it's about collaboration and partnership and things like that where you're like, I just don't know if I want to do that, then maybe that's not a great opportunity for you. And lastly, make sure the manager is a good fit for you. Is this the type of manager who's going to praise you in the way you're comfortable with, give you feedback in the way you're comfortable with, and is going to lead you and put you into situations you're comfortable with? Ask the questions you need to ask to make sure the manager is going to be somebody who is going to be a fit for you. There you have it. Those are the things I would recommend you do interviewing as an introvert. Good luck at your next interview. You got this.